Hi, this is Becky from Mini Mosaic Acre, and today I wanted to share with you the different types of livestock that we keep and a little bit of why. So years ago, whenever we started, we knew, well, I knew that I wanted Jersey cows because I love them. But we knew we needed a family milk cow because we had several children. We loved fresh milk and we wanted to be able to make our own yogurt and our own cheeses. And so over the years, we've had different milk cows, but all of them have been either Jerseys or Guernseys or a mix of the two. And so we really love them because they're smaller in size and their milk is very rich and they have high butter fat. So I like butter and I really like heavy whipping cream in my freshly roasted Ethiopian coffee. And so we have just always chose to stick with the Jerseys. We once had a Jersey Dexter Cross who we adored, but she didn't quite give the quantity of milk that we desired. And so that was whenever I decided to do all that I could to start down my journey to begin raising miniature Jerseys. And that is where we are now. We have a strict breeding program and are working our Jersey herd to try to strengthen qualities like longevity, feed conversion. A2A2 milk is very important to us because it is what customers are wanting right now. So it's in high demand. We want for our animals to have good conformation because we want for them to live a healthy, long life and for them to be comfortable in their own body for a long time. We want them to be able to produce a large amount of milk because we only milk our cows once a day. We don't push them to give maximum output because we, again, want them to live long, healthy lives. And then, of course, other things like, having a nice udder and I don't know, there's several other things. But anyhow, that's what we're working on. Temperament is extremely important, and some believe that temperament is all genetics, and some believe that temperament is more having to do with the environment, and we believe it's both. So we work at being very observant with our animals and their temperaments. So anyhow, our miniature Jerseys are A2A2, and they are all most of them are double registered. Some of them are triple registered, and they're just sweethearts. So anytime you're out at our farm, you can probably see them close by because they're very curious about what's going on and new people, and they're just kind of fun to be around. A miniature Jersey is less intimidating than a full-size dairy cow because just their height in general, their height is smaller. Their legs are shorter. It's really important to be looking for a deep chest, a deep body instead of a narrow one. They just look more, sturdy. They look more sturdy. Where one of the things I love about the Jerseys is they look delicate and feminine, and the miniature Jerseys just look more sturdy. They also are able to really forage well, which I appreciate because I'm a practical kind of girl, and it's wonderful whenever they are able to go through our woods and they're able to find things that they can eat and convert that to delicious, rich milk. And so I really appreciate that about them. And they're also very good mothers. So Jerseys in general are typically pretty good moms, and they usually are able to birth pretty easily. So all of those things together make for a very good homestead cow. Our goal is to be selling our milk cows once they have already freshened and we have had them partway through a lactation cycle, and we know that they are very well trained and they are going to be outstanding for a new homesteader. So we specifically raise ours for a longer period of time. We do not sell our heifer calves. We keep them either for our breeding program, or we keep them until they are full grown and they have had their first calf and they have gone through a lactation cycle, so that we have kind of taught them, what we know their personality, so that whenever when they find their new home, that they will be a blessing to their new home. And our hope is that it will just be a really good match where a family can have them for a long time and they can just take care of one another. But those relationships, even though it is a homesteading animal, we feel are really important, and we want to be able to nurture those, and we want to be able to help match people up with a cow that is going to meet their needs, and vice versa. So that's about our miniature jerseys. The other thing is that miniature jerseys, you can keep them on a smaller piece of land because they are smaller and they eat less than a standard jersey. So that's nice as well. Our next homestead animal around here that we really love are our Kunekune pigs. So Kunekunes are outstanding because they are known as being a true grass-fed pig. So they do not destroy the ground. Anyone who's tried raising pigs before knows that, first off, pigs are so smart. And then secondly, they root everything up, so they can seriously cause a lot of damage to your property in a small amount of time. And so Kunekunes are fantastic because they really aren't big rooters. Their noses are upturned a little bit, prohibiting that. And so they're wonderful if you're wanting to do a leader-follower system, to go behind cows and to be able to do a cleanup and eat the things that they have not already grazed on without destroying that pasture again. The other thing is they're just sweethearts. I love them. They are the sweetest, most docile creatures. They just kind of roam around our property. We're not even concerned when people come to the house because they're just really sweet and they seem to like everybody. The other thing that is nice about Kunekunes is that they are slow growing, which actually is part of the reason why they're not used in the commercial realm, because they take a long time to get to their adult size. So if you're raising them out for butcher, then you're looking at about 2 years before they're ready for butcher. Whereas, a pig that has been bred for butchering purposes, they grow at a much more rapid pace. As a homesteader, I really appreciate this long growth period for a couple of different reasons. One, it allows me to feed the pig a more natural diet, and also because it's less messy. So, what goes in comes out. So it's nice to be able to raise them in an area and not have to worry about the large amount of food that goes in all at once, and then also the excrement that's left behind. It's just much more moderate. It would be like the meat chickens, the larger chickens like the Cornish cross, versus a large heritage breed chicken. They're just slower growing and they're not quite as large, but the meat is tremendous. So if you have not had a chance to try Kunekune meat, you've got to find a place to get it because it is unbelievable. It is a mix between like a really nice steak and pork. I can't really describe it, but it is some of the best meat I've ever had. Not that we've actually ever butchered any of ours, but I have bought it from somebody else who butchered theirs. We're probably going to have a pretty hard time when we have to butcher our guys, but that's part of the lifestyle that we have chosen. And so we will be doing that. So the other thing is that I don't know. I have heard so many horror stories about sows after they've had a litter of piglets being aggressive, and I've just heard a lot of really scary things. And then with the Kunekunes, they're not like that. If you're in there and you're handling them and you're working with them, they're extremely docile and they do not become aggressive with you even after they've had their piglets. So they're easy to work, take care of, make sure they're healthy, and to maintain them. So anyhow, we love our Kunekunes, and I can't imagine having any other breed of pig ever again. And then the other critter we have around here are Nigerian dwarf goats. This is actually our first year of having Nigerian dwarf goats. We've had Saanens in the past, which I adore. I had like the sweetest Saanen doe ever. Her name was Annabelle, and she was just a sweetheart. But she grew very old and was around for a very long time, and so she's no longer with us. But anyhow, we also have had boar goats, and they were just wild. They're just, I think, a comparison to like a dairy cow versus a beef cow would be applicable to the goats. Like a dairy goat versus a meat goat, they're different in personality completely. So I didn't really hit it off with the boar goats, but I do love the Nigerian dwarfs. They're really sweet. Of course, they're very small. Our daughter, who is a double amputee, we originally got them for her because she wanted to be able to help on the farm with the rest of us, but I was really nervous about her handling some of the larger livestock on a regular basis without somebody just constantly watching over her. So we thought, the Nigerian dwarfs will be perfect because they're not too big for her to handle and she will be able to participate. And so that's been really important to her, to be able to have something that she could do to contribute to the farm. Of course, she's like an avid gardener, so she helps us with that all the time, and so many other things. But the Nigerian dwarf was the answer for that. And so she actually does the milking for our Nigerian doe. We have two that are getting ready to freshen. They're pretty soon. So currently we do not have any extra milk around, but the plan is to teach her then how to make goat's milk soap, and then that'll just be one more thing that she will be able to contribute to on the homestead. So around here, we just all kind of try to find our little niche, and then encourage each other and help each other out. And everybody has their thing that they really kind of specialize in. Even though we all work together, we each have the things that we're maybe better at doing. I can't remember who it was, but I heard a homesteader that was pretty well known say something along the lines of, if you choose to homestead, it's a family affair. So if everybody isn't on board, then it's going to make it really difficult. And I would say that this is really true because there have been different times throughout our homesteading that everybody hasn't been on board. And really, like, there was a time period where as parents, my husband and I were both like, well, it's not really their thing. And if it's not their thing, then we'll just let them contribute some other way. And then actually there was an occupational therapist who was like, everybody needs to be doing their part. Everybody lives under the same roof. Everybody eats the same food. So it was like a light bulb went off. And I'm like, you're right. All of us benefit from this. And actually, we all have worked together as a team. And every time we do that, we do really well. And all of us walk away feeling accomplished and proud and closer knit as a family. And so anyway, we just decided then across the board, this is our thing. Like, as a family, this is our thing. Whoever is here, this is our thing. And it doesn't always have to be our thing. Like when kids grow up and move out, which we have 4 of them who have already done so, 2 who are like on the way. It might not always be their thing, but as long as they're here, it is their thing. And then whenever they go somewhere else and if they found another thing, then guess what? We are going to fully support that, embrace it, and love it because that's who they are. But as long as we're here in this unit, we're going to work as a team in whatever we choose to do. And so that has worked out really well. So if you're considering homesteading, that might be something that you think about. Is this something that your whole family can get on board with? Are you going to be able to make that decision? Like, hey, this is what we're all going to be doing together. What does this support look like outside of your family for your homesteading? because homesteading it's a magnificent adventure, but it's a lot of work. It's hard work. It's going out and doing those chores on the really cold, nasty, wet, rainy days. It's going to hand milk when the milk machine's broken and it's cold and you have a million other things you got to do. It is sometimes animals needing veterinarian care or some additional care, and so then there's an expense that wasn't expected, so it can make finances really tight. Homesteading can be a time where you're sick and everybody has the flu, but guess what? Those animals still need to eat, and their pens still need to be cleaned, and the cows still need milked, and on it goes. Fences still need repaired. So it's never ending. It's not like a clock in, clock out job. It's an always job, but it's fabulous. It's rewarding in the way that you get to work with your hands and you get to see something come out of it, in the way that you know where your food has come from, that you know that the animals have lived a full and good life and that they have been treated with respect. It's a way to know that you are taking care of the earth for the next generation so that it can be better than when they received it, or than when you received it. So there's just so many benefits. And also I think it keeps you young. I think it keeps you young at heart, because just staying grounded to the soil and knowing and constantly learning where our food comes from and how things work together in our ecosystem, and learning the different needs of different animals and making those relationships within your community to help you to be successful. Those are all such an important thing, which is the other part, community. You need community. If you're going to homestead, you need community. You need somebody that you can call and say, hey, I'm not really sure what's going on. I think my cow is in heat and ready to be bred, but I don't know. Let me tell you what, our AI technician, like, I don't think we could have ever survived without him. He has helped us through so much. And you just need to be able to have that support of other agriculture people within your community if you're going to homestead. But anyhow, besides that, we have a lot of chickens, all different breeds that you can even imagine, because every year I get more because I love them. So we have a lot of different breeds of chickens, and that's quite a bit of fun. And hopefully this year we will be getting our very first goose, because we've never had a goose. So when that happens, we will keep you updated on that. But anyhow, gardening season's coming up pretty soon, and we're going to start doing a series of videos on what to do to prepare for your garden and how to grow a homesteading garden. And in that, I'm going to invite you to come along and garden with me this year. So I thought it would be fun if we could do that. So anyhow, be looking for that video. Hopefully it will be out soon. Anyhow, this is Becky of Mini Mosaic Acre. Thank you for watching. If you like us, then just please follow us and come along this homesteading journey with us. Thank you.